first thing I wrote down is using what God blessed you with to be a light. And probably using what God has instilled inside of you, or inside of us. We are moving on one accord with God's plan in our lives. And then we will also be able to feel and show God's love. Also confidently as well. And then another thing I said was, if you neglect or sit on the gift that God has blessed you with, you'll be at risk of losing it or delaying what blessings that God may have for you or for others.
Yes.
And then also, I thought of God's gift like a muscle. So if you don't use the muscle properly, that'll cause like muscle atrophy. So
I hear you, son.
Muscle atrophy is really when the muscle shrinks or it loses muscle mass. So, for example, if you break your wrist or ankle, you're in a cast for like 6 weeks. You wonder why that joint is weak because the muscle hasn't been used for that amount of time. So, if you don't use what God's blessed with, that essentially what will happen. Another thing I have for you guys is that gifts that God bless you with may have a different use than what you intended to use it for. He has a greater plan, better than you can dream or imagine. So, for me personally, in my life, everyone knows me as a basketball player. Throughout my time at University of Brook, let me breathe, like you said. So when I was at Pembroke, I was kind of like the guy that was left out. So my role was really just to be the energy guy. But I kind of fell outside of that because I really wanted to play ball. So instead of me, being that guy that gives, being good energy and being charismatic, I basically took it in my own hands to, work as hard as I could, just be on the floor and not be that guy to give good energy, but to be the person that, is in the spotlight. But I never wanted to be that person in the spotlight. I just thought if I was, playing ball, that was the thing that was most important to me. But I didn't realize I was losing myself doing that. So I essentially gave up basketball to really, I feel like me giving up basketball elevated me. So I realized that basketball was just a tool for me to get my education. And so that was really what was important at the end of the day. So that being said, God rewards consistency, not pride. Always remember to thank God and give Him your burdens. He will intercede on your behalf. And then playing basketball, that essentially taught me teamwork, discipline, and sacrifice. And then once again, I feel like the gifts that God blessed me with was problem solving, working well under pressure, patience, joy, and being charismatic.
Okay. Hi guys. I similarly, this scripture and this topic remind me of my own journey with basketball. So I played myself since I was like 5 or 6. And I played like structured basketball all the way through high school and then club basketball in college for 2 different schools. But for me, I grew up around my dream school, and I always wanted to play for that school. It's an ACC school, it's a really big conference, national games and stuff like that. So it was always my dream to play for that school in college. And what had happened was I ended up getting into that school academically, as my dream school academically as well. And so my college decision was between going there academically or playing basketball at a different level, at a school I wasn't as excited to go to. So I decided to go to the college that I got into academically, and my thought was I'm going to go and walk on the team. And I kind of just threw faith on that without kind of consulting to see if like that was how God would use the gift of basketball. And so I was just like, all right, Lord, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna try out for the team. We're gonna make it. And then I'm gonna work my way up, average 30, save the team, win championships. And I'm like, it's gonna work because I'm putting faith on it. I'm putting God on it. And I went into college during COVID, so all that got shut down in like a month.
Yeah.
And I was really, really upset about that because up to that point, I thought my only gifts were academics and basketball. And so which means those things were my identity. I put my identity in the gifts. Gifts that God had given me, but I still used them. I had used them, but I put my identity in them. And what that taking basketball away from me at that level taught me was, again, that I was putting my identity in him, and God wanted me to put my identity in him. And also, in so doing that, I still got to play basketball, but I played on the club team, which was basically kind of like the rec team. But it was really fun. It was like, I really enjoyed it, my 5 years playing. But when God decreased basketball in my life, He stirred up so many other gifts that I didn't know were inside me.
That's right.
So even the fact that I'm up here like speaking, I was not a speaking person in high school. I was quiet to myself. I started writing in college, I started painting, like all of these, like, my mom called me a Renaissance girl, like all these things. I would have never done them if I would have gotten basketball my way. And even like teaching the Bible and just being around Christian people, like those were all gifts that God gave me because He led me to a place of surrendering the one gift that I thought He was going to use my life for. And so when I hear you guys speak about stirring the gifts, and when I see the things that y'all are doing and the way you guys present it, it just makes me really happy. And I kind of just want to encourage you guys, like, yes, you have gifts, and you may have main gifts that you think you have, but don't put a limit on what God might have inside of you. And I think for me, when I wanted to play basketball at my dream school, if I really think about it, I wanted it because I wanted my own glory. I wanted to play for that team specifically because I wanted people to see me. Because I always felt underlooked as a basketball player in high school. And so by playing for that college, I wanted people to like see me and praise me and all those things. I wanted that external validation. But the true glory was in what God was doing inside of me. And so now what I tell people now is that there's so much inside of you. You don't have to look outside to other people or to other things to find your gifts. Everything you need to be successful, God has placed on the inside of you.
That's right.
You just have to be in His Word and be with His people to find that out, and He's going to reveal it in time. And so I'm at the point now where like I'm like looking for jobs and things. I don't know where to look because there's so many gifts He's unlocked that I can't even pick which lane to get into right now. And that would have never been the case if I would have just like lightened up with basketball like I wanted to be. And so stir up the gifts that God is allowing you to use now. But don't limit Him because there's so many more gifts, and there's even deeper levels of that one gift you might have now that He has for you, and that's going to be for the rest of your life. God's always going to have a new gift for you. He's going to have a new level of the gift that you already have. He's not a limited God, and so I just stirring up the gifts is really important to me because there's always more than what you think there because God is an infinite God.
Yeah. All right, Riri, release. Release.
Hi everyone. Wait, can you hear me? Hello? There you go. So my name is Riana. I'm just going to say a little bit about me just for context. I'm 23 years old. I have 12 brothers and sisters, and I'm originally from New York and come from 2 Puerto Rican parents. So I say that just for context, it'll make sense in a second. My mother was in the military, so I moved around a lot, which I feel like is something that started stirring up the gifts in me. I had to quickly learn to become adaptable to my environment, to have a new beginning like every 2 years. And it was nice because I didn't ever have to do it alone because I had so many siblings that I was always going into something not fully alone. But now that I'm an adult, I realize that that's definitely, your gifts are cultivated from childhood,
Mhm.
whether you realize it or not. You look at me and you look at all of my siblings and we're completely different. We all have completely different gifts. Raised under the same roof, but we're completely different individuals. But
Mhm.
it's such a blessing because me, I have a passion for traveling. I have a passion for speaking. I have a passion for interacting and meeting people. And it's such a beautiful thing knowing that if, well, you know, God is a way maker, so if this was his way, if this was his will, he would have made it happen regardless. But because of me having to adapt, because of me having to meet so many different people from such a young age, I don't experience culture shock anymore. I can get into any environment and I'm just like, okay, I guess we're just gonna roll with the punches. So we all have different gifts, and your gifts aren't to bless you, they're to bless others.
Amen.
And
Yes.
exactly like Syvon was saying, if you don't use those gifts properly, they can and they will be taken away from you because you're abusing God's grace, which is essentially for people who do not know any better. And as followers of Christ, we do know better. We do know that even though he gives us free will, doesn't mean that we should be doing everything that we want or anything that we want. It means that we should still be obedient to what he is calling us to do and where he is calling us to go. As stubborn as we can be sometimes, and I'm speaking for myself when I say that. But even something so simple as like Amarah's obedience, that's a gift because you went into something blindly and you didn't know where you were going to, what was going to come out of it, but you still chose faith over that. That's a gift. Gabby, you are an intercessor and you have the ability to feel people's feelings without them speaking about it, without you even knowing them. That's a gift. Syvon, you have the ability to put all of your feelings and everything to the side and show up full-heartedly for somebody who needs you. And those are all gifts that not everybody has the ability to cultivate. Or actually, they're fully capable, but not everybody does. And I mean, Pastor Carla, we could go on and on about your gifts. But it's like just even something so simple as our second interaction, and you didn't even know me. You know, you don't know anything about me, but you hear so clearly God speaking to you, and so you're going to use your mouth as that vessel. And ultimately, and Daryl, sorry, Daryl, your big heart, that's a gift too.
Yeah.
It's very unique. It's, you have such a beautiful heart. I can talk about my emotions and my sensitivity, that is a gift, but I say all that to say that we all have gifts, and whether we want to use them or not, they're still our gifts nonetheless, but we have the ability to use them for the greater good. Not only that, but our gifts are meant to be used in love, because without
Mhm.
love, our
Amen.
gifts are dead.
That's right.
And God is love, so I just want to read something really quickly. Without love, the gifts of the Spirit are deemed worthless. And Christian love is based on the deliberate choice of the lover rather than the worthiness of the one being loved.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, we can choose to be loved because love is more than just a feeling, but it's like Jesus, he loved even those that were deemed unlovable by the world, and he loved them full-heartedly. And that's how we are called to go out into this world. We are called to love wholeheartedly. When people irritate us, when people annoy us, when people make us mad, when people just get under our skin, whatever the case may be, when somebody smells funny, when somebody's rude, whatever the case may be, we're called to love like Jesus and move like Jesus and act accordingly to that. So, give me just 1 second, sorry. So I just want to read a scripture from Romans 12, and it'll be 6 through 8. And it says, we have different gifts according to the grace given to each of us.
If your gift is prophesying, then prophesy in accordance with your faith. If it is serving, then serve. If it is teaching, then teach. If it is to encourage, then give encouragement. If it is giving, then give generously. If it is to lead, do it diligently. If it is to show mercy, then do it cheerfully. And then I also just want to, I just want to speak on some of the gifts that come from, or spiritual gifts that are spoken directly from the Bible. We have the gift of prophecy, we have serving, we have teaching, we have giving, leading, mercy, wisdom, knowledge, faith, discernment, evangelism, hospitality, speaking, exhortation. These are all gifts that are spoken on in the Bible. And if any of those lead to you or speak to you, I should say, I would highly recommend going into the Bible and finding the character that that has that gift, so you can learn from them. Because we all know that this is our survival guide and the ultimate book of life. So, yeah, I love you all. Thank you for this opportunity. And yeah, ultimately, the last thing I do want to say is, given your experiences, given your circumstances, what is your gift? And I honestly want everybody to think about that question truly. And you're not limited to one. Putting a limit on you is putting a limit on our limitless God. But once you find those gifts, it's just like, just really sit in it and allow yourself to do what God has already called you to do. So thank you.